Hi, I'm Dr. Carl Alasko, and I'm here in my office to talk about emotional bullshit and how emotional BS is so destructive to relationships. And the question always is, why do we use emotional BS in our relationships? Because we don't like conflict. We don't like anxiety, anger, pain, and fear, and we do almost anything to avoid those negative emotions. And we use denial and delusion and blame, the toxic trio, to avoid focusing on what we really need for our long-term best interest. Now, some of you may recognize Jessica and Mark from the video on the wharf. So, what happened after you pushed Mark into the ocean?
Well, he was angry.
I'll bet.
But we haven't split up.
So you're still together?
Yes.
And what has changed? Has anything really specific changed for you? I mean, in his behavior? Because remember, you're talking about your core needs of what you really want, which is a child, husband,
absolutely.
Marriage. You know, you want to settle down.
Well, he's been more attentive lately, and we've been trying to spend time together, just the two of us.
And what's happened? What has actually happened? You know, what are the behaviors?
Well, for my birthday, we went to Big Sur for a bike ride. Actually, but his buddies ended up showing up, and we did get into an argument.
So it was Mark's buddies, Mark's plan, Mark's fun, doing what Mark wants to do.
Yeah, it was more of the same behaviors. But he says that, he loves me. He was almost in tears the other day.
Well, I'm not saying Mark's not a nice guy. I mean, Mark could be a lovely person, but what we're talking about is your core needs, what you really need in life. And what you want is something different than what Mark wants. Mark is having a great time.
Yeah.
But you want a family.
Yeah, he says he wants a family too, but the majority of his time is spent biking or off with his buddies.
Jessica,
climbing.
Let me ask you, what do you actually do together, just the two of you? You're having a hard time coming up with something.
Like I said, we tried the bike ride, but...
My concern is that you are still connected, enmeshed in this delusional bubble that Mark is somehow going to miraculously change. And you're going to be spending a lot of time. I mean, do you have like a timeline out here? You're going to give him another 3 months, 6 months? Have you thought about that?
No, I haven't made a specific timeline, but you're right. His behaviors have not changed. His words, but not his behaviors.
And the other possibility is you're really avoiding the conflict and the pain of really facing the fact that Mark is not the man. He's a nice guy, he's sweet, but he's not the guy who's going to really fulfill your long-term best interest.
No, we've just been together so long.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. That is what we do. We avoid conflict, and so we keep on manipulating things and distorting reality, and maybe Mark will this and maybe Mark will that. And if I argue and fight and struggle and keep on pleading, eventually maybe Mark will change. And that's the delusional part. In the meantime, Jessica is blaming herself, blaming Mark, blaming everybody. She's completely stuck in the toxic trio of emotional BS. Thank you.